Sometimes getting water isn't as easy as turning on the spigot, right? And that's the case with the birds in their pond. So right now my electric pump is not working because it's seized up. And then I had to replace it with the centrifugal pump, which does not pump because I guess I burned out the seal. I don't know. Anyway, so I have a trash pump hooked up to it right now. The trash pump's been sitting for close to 2 years. You can see the state of my hands. I had to clean the carburetor out to get it to run. It was surprisingly clean for sitting as long as it had been. And, just hitting it with some brake clean and, giving it a little rub down seemed to work. I took the pump housing off and it was all rusty and full of nastiness because I didn't have the forethought to actually empty it out because, I thought I was going to use it again and just never did. So had to use a ratchet, take the cover off to clean that out, pipe wrench to adjust all the hoses, 10 mil to actually tighten up the nuts on the pump housing, sockets so I can choose, obviously. This guy here is to take off the cap on the trash pump so I can prime it with that bucket. A couple pipe wrenches to use the the fitting on the end so I can actually turn it and get some good grip on it. But they've been sitting for, like I said, close to 2 years, so they're absolutely disgusting and corroded, and cast aluminum doesn't really do so great in weather. So I'm gonna drive you down there and show you what it takes to get water into that pond. There we go. Turn the headlights on. Some of you may have seen me racing around on this thing on the camera. So all my crap was stored sitting under this eave, which I guess kept a lot of it nice and clean. But I had to dig around in the barn there and find actual hoses and crap from my failed irrigation project that was costing me too much in fuel, which is what this is going to cost me too. But that's all right. We need to get some water to those ducks. It's actually pretty cool right now, so it feels all right. Oh, need to adjust my parking brake. It looks like I'm doing something funny here, but it has an adjuster knob on the end. Excellent. Alright, so this guy right here was my biggest pain. It's a male on the end here, and we have 2-inch MPT, and this guy here is what I was looking for. It's a 2-inch female, so it'll take male to male. And then we have a 2-inch down to 1-inch adapter for my hose, and that's just HDPE poly going up to the pond. And then we have regular old suction line here, and it's probably going to get a little bit loud here. I'll try to speak up. This is my trash pump. I don't have a flashlight on me, unfortunately, but I just want to show you. Spraying water. So we got a nice, instead of air cool, it's water cool. I got to suck it out of the stream, and right there is the deepest part from where this tree fell over. Normally I pull out of over here, but because my trash pump pulls more than a couple gallons a minute, it'll suck air and then lose the prime. So I got to get it from the stream, and I'm just going to let that pump run out so it'll actually use all the old fuel in it, because it's using old fuel too. But I got to get it up. I'd say, I don't know, it's a 15 or, oh boy, come on, learn to drive. 15 or 20 foot rise. So not just, it's not just plug and play, put a pump on it and it works, right? I need to come up over the bank, and the bank is about 4 feet from the stream where the pump sits. And we'll go a different way. It's about 4 feet from where the pump sits, and I gotta have something to suction on that, or be able to overcome the height in order to prime. And in order to save electricity, the plan is to run the pump intermittently, which this trash pump you can't do because it's a gasoline pump. You would need a starter and a special setup and all that nonsense. Then you have to fill it all the time with fuel, and I just don't want to do that. I got electricity down there, so why, right? My issue with the pump that I have on order is that the company is taking their sweet time. They didn't bother to tell me it was on back order, or that they had to drop ship it. So, as much as I want the pump, and as much as, everybody, I can see some people are frustrated that the ducks don't have fresh water and all that stuff, but I assure you they do. What you see there in terms of the pond is only one water source that they have, and it's one that they swim in. If they want water, it ain't a big deal. They got water. They have drinking water inside the run itself, this wire run. When you type exclamation inside, it shows you inside here. And if you do inside low, you can see where the water is. I fill that guy every day, and the geese and the chickens and the ducks, they all drink from it. They have fresh water. We also have another little bucket sitting right there that I fill too. So, and there's another one, orange bucket. So if we're worried about them overheating, I got shade trees there. This guy here is a nice big shade tree. And this guy will fruit, it'll get mulberries and choke cherries. And then we go up front here. And we have a big old cherry blossom tree that's actually two. And we have a bush that they can go under. They really like this bush hiding under here. And then there's a big old silver maple up there. It's probably 100 feet tall, that provides lots of shade. There's a dogwood, and over there is a holly tree, an American holly. And all along the back row here are a bunch of cedars. So I mean, they have plenty of shade, plenty of places to escape the heat. It's not just about the water, And I know, right? The water's ugly. It's gross. It's pretty much liquid poo at this point. But what are you gonna do, right? Someone suggested pulling a tanker back here, but the pond isn't right there at the end of my driveway, right? And those guys, they really don't want to pull all the way back here and, fill a pond. And I'm sure they have hose and all that stuff, but like I said, they're going to cost me just as much as just buying a pump. So why am I gonna do that when I got a stream back there, and I really just need to spend some time making it right? And it really comes down to time. I think it hit 95 here today, so it wasn't exactly pleasant outside. And forgive me, I don't want to be outside in the heat if I can help it. Of course they don't either, but they got plenty of places to be that they can get out of the heat too. So regardless, we have some water pumping now, and it's not just a little trickle either. It's it's pretty good. It's probably, so that pump is running idle, and it's probably pushing, I don't know, 15 gallons a minute or something like that. And so I'll let it run for the next few hours, and it ought to fill up this pond and then start clearing it out. And then I'll let it keep running for a while, and hopefully it'll find a place to drain other than straight down that way. Last time it decided to kind of come over here and snake its way over this way and then through the garden. I might borrow the neighbor's tractor. I got a potato plow over there. Maybe I'd just sink it here and like drag it and create a little channel, because you know, driving through mud and in my Workman or walking through it isn't, you know, especially this mud, it's not dirt, it's clay. So when it gets wet, it becomes like a sticky, gross mess. So you can see here over winter, when it was just snow, and you know, this is where it was draining, and that's why I got that piece of fence there. It would drain right down through there, and you know, have to cross this, and the Workman didn't like this. It would break pieces off of it, and you know, not so great. But I would go across here, and now I've got like 6-inch deep ruts in the grass here that I hit with the mower, so that's cool. Anyhow, yeah, so they have water. It'll clear up relatively quickly. You know, with this kind of flow rate, of course I'll have to keep putting fuel in it, but with this kind of flow rate, it'll pretty much empty that pond out overnight, and you'll be able to see the bottom. And you know, it's not what I would call a deep pond. Maybe at the deepest 3 foot, maybe. I know it was a lot deeper when I first dug it, 4 foot or so. But those ducks, they dabble all around here. There was all dirt right there, and now you can see all this root mass from this tree. But yeah, it'll be clear. You'll be able to see the bottom. So, peace. I got water.